The Pope is going to talk about aliens today and maybe ghosts and some other stuff, potentially. So let's talk about that and a whole lot else. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, from the Daily Star, Pope to hold press conference on aliens and the supernatural, and people are confused. The last time the Vatican held a press conference about aliens and supernatural phenomena was in February 1978. But what would tomorrow's event mean for the Pope? And of course, this was written yesterday, or released yesterday. The Vatican has announced that it is set to hold a press conference on supernatural phenomenon today, and it will touch on aliens and how it will deal with potential encounters in the future. According to a notice on the Vatican's website, it will kick off at noon tomorrow and will feature 3 prominent Vatican members, being held to present the new provisions of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith for discerning between apparitions and other supernatural phenomena. It will be led by Cardinal Victor Manuel Ferdinand, Messenger Armando Matteo, and Daniel Del Guadio. All right, it says discerning between apparitions and other supernatural phenomena. It doesn't explicitly say aliens, so this article might be not quite on the money there. I don't know. But either way, it should be an intriguing press event from the Pope talking about some intriguing things and how to use discernment to tell what is what. Now, since this is from the Pope, I would imagine, I'm just speculating, but he might be talking about the difference between angels and demons and, that sort of thing, and determining what is what. But, we'll see what he has to say. Either way, I am super intrigued by this press event that is shortly to occur. So keep your eyes on that. Meanwhile, frozen human brain tissue brought back to life in major breakthrough. What? Scientists may one day be able to freeze brains and bring them back to life following a major breakthrough in cryogenics. Researchers in China have successfully frozen and thawed human brain tissue, after which it regained normal function. They hope the new technique will improve ways of studying neurological conditions. So this, could have major impact on cryogenics, right? Which could, theoretically impact me. Before I became a believer in the spiritual, I, was an atheist, and I have signed up, and I've still signed up to this day. I haven't canceled it yet. With Alcor, which is a preservation, company that, practices cryogenics, that, freezes your body or whatever they do. In my case, it would simply be the head. I couldn't afford the whole body, guys. Sorry. But yeah, it was good. The idea would be they freeze people's heads, and then at some point, after they die, obviously, and at some point in the future, when technology has been invented, they can defrost them. And, by then, I guess, ideally, the idea would be they could grow you a new body. And either way, so it looks like they may have taken a step toward this. Of course, I have long planned to cancel my Alcor thing. I just haven't wanted to put up with the paperwork now that I believe in the spiritual and know that I do go on. However, if I were to do it, if I were to continue to do it, I would now need to do the whole body. Why? Because in my research into the spiritual, the near-death experiences, etc., it appears that the soul resides more in the spine than it does in the brain. So, the whole body, guys. Whole body is what I would need to do. I've got a cat trying to get some attention here. Okay, meanwhile, check this out. This is really interesting. John Greenwald has some thoughts about why Sean Kirkpatrick was even at the Skinwalker Ranch briefing in 2018. So let's give a listen to what John has to say, if my cat will allow me.
A lot of people are missing the bigger question. The bigger question is why, in 2018, was Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, of all the scientists in all the land, Why was he asked by the congressional staffers or this committee to come in and essentially oversee what was being said? What was it about him that led them to ask him? And then just so happens that years go by and he finds them himself at the helm of a UAP research effort within the Pentagon called Arrow. How did those cards fall? It's like everybody cares about him lying, or did he not, or was it 2018 or what? 2017? Look, interesting, cool, but I want to know why he, above anyone else, was asked, and I want to know how the chips laid the way they were to pave the way for him to go on to lead Arrow. To me, that's more fascinating to me. And by the posting of that picture, Brandon, and kudos to him, just added that much more to the story. That visual element was awesome. So again, is he lying? Look, it's a huge possibility. Does he not remember? Huge possibility. It doesn't. To me, it wasn't as blatant as some people felt it was. But to me, I'm fixated on the why question. Why was he there? And why did he go on to lead Arrow? Because remember, in other interviews, he's kind of said, I didn't really have an interest in UFOs prior to this. And yet somebody called him to attend a 2018 briefing, whether it be on UAP or whether it be on Skinwalker Ranch or both. Look, you can argue those details. That's fine. But why? Why was he there? Why was he asked? And that to me was the more intriguing question.
Well, okay, so John is dismissing a little bit the issue of him lying about being there. No, that's huge. That's a huge thing. That's a big deal. Sean Kirkpatrick lying about attending this Skinwalker Range briefing, that's a big deal. But he's got a great point, John does. Why was Sean Kirkpatrick, the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, there at the Skinwalker Ranch briefing in the first place? That clearly seems to indicate an interest in UFOs, not just a personal interest, but he was placed there by somebody. He was asked to be there by somebody. So, very intriguing. I would love to know the answer to that question, and John is so right to pose it. And I just love that mugshot of the lovely Dr. John Kirkpatrick snarling at the camera there. I love it. All right. Moving on. Some thoughts about the Michael Herrera situation from Stephen Diner. And he has been speaking or texting with Mike and has gotten some insights into Mike's relationship with Nathan, the group leader that has come out publicly to contradict Mike Herrera's story. Now, I've had some private correspondence with Mike also that correspond to what Stephen is saying. I don't think Mike would mind me saying that, since Stephen is also saying this as well. Then he went into a lot more depth with Stephen. So let's give a listen to what Stephen has to say.
Hey guys, Stephen Diener here, U.A.P. Unidentified Alien Podcast. Just wanted to put out a quick video today to address something that happened within the past week, and that was Nathan, Michael Herrera's former team leader, coming out and saying that Mike Herrera has been lying about everything he's been saying on interviews on my show and on other platforms. So I spoke to Mike about this, and the reason why I wanted to get this out there today is because some of you have been asking me what Mike thinks about it and if he's going to come on my show to talk about it. Well, the answer is not right now. I tried to make that happen, but Mike doesn't really want to talk about this out in the open right now. But we did talk about it through text message, and I got the okay from Mike to go ahead and put out the general conversation, some of the things that we were talking about. And the reason why I wanted to do this was just to try to help Mike out. He's been on my show a couple of times. He doesn't do a lot of shows, and he's been nice enough to come on mine a couple of times. And so I just kind of want to return the favor and at least not make this a one-sided conversation where his former team leader, Nathan, has said these things and there's no one else coming out to defend Michael Herrera. So I at least wanted to get some of what he was telling me out there to get both sides of the story out. So in the general conversation that Mike and I had, Mike said that, sorry, I'm just reading some notes here. Mike said that basically they don't like each other. Nathan and Mike, they don't like each other. And the reason why Nathan is coming out to say all this right now against Mike is because of jealousy. Nathan is jealous of Mike, of his successes in life, and Nathan wants his time to shine, so he's trying to tear Mike down. in order to do that. Mike also said that Nathan was not there with him in the jungle when he came across the giant UFO where he saw people getting on it, but he did confirm that Nathan was his team leader at some point, just was not with him during that incident. He also said that this doesn't bother him, and he knows he has more evidence on his side than Nathan does. So I hope this helps to clear some things up. I know some of you have been asking me about this, what I think about it, what Mike thinks about it. What I think about it is I don't want to get in between these two. I don't know what's going to come from this, any personal spats. It's between them, but I did want to come out and at least get both sides of the story out there and tell you what Mike was telling me. Again, got his permission to do this. So that's the deal right now.
Okay, so yeah, very good update from Steven. Corroborates what Mike has told me also. He went into a little more depth with Steven, but basically the same idea. So yeah, it's frustrating that we may have the personal animosity of Nathan getting in the way of the truth of Mike's experience in Indonesia. However, from the work that Joey Is Not My Name has done, Mike has been to a black site, and Joey has been able to independently confirm that. And he wouldn't have been invited to the black site if his testimony wasn't ringing some bells within the control group. There is a pro-disclosure element within the control group, and they seem to be wanting Mike to know certain things, and through Mike, for us to learn certain things. So yeah, it's it is what it is, but the truth will out, guys. The truth will out, and I stand by Mike. All right. Meanwhile, we have a beautiful petrified tree here from the Petrified Forest National Park. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? That is just gorgeous. Love it. Love it. Look at that. Look at that. Like, yeah, just amazing. Just amazing. All right. Meanwhile, we have a really good Bigfoot sighting, potentially. This is Blinky. Blinky the Bigfoot. All right. Which is potentially really good proof of Bigfoot. You can see the eye moving. That's why he's known as Blinky. Look at that. Incredible detail. Incredible detail. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background. There's a big storm brewing where I live. And but yeah, look at the incredible detail and in the facial movements on this being. To me, this feels very authentic. I don't think that's CGI. It's clearly not a guy in a mask. I think we might be looking at Bigfoot, guys. I think we might be looking at a Bigfoot. But let me know what you think. If this has been debunked, or if you have seen this debunked, let me know in the comments below. But I thought that was a great Bigfoot sighting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Meanwhile, Ross Colart asked Avy Lo about the Galactic Federation. Haim Eshed had, the Brigadier General of Israel, who was heavily involved in their space program, made some really interesting comments in a book that he came out with a couple of years ago. And he mentioned the Galactic Federation, this non-human federation, and their involvement with human governments. That is, that there are people within the governments of many different countries, for example, Israel in the United States, that know about the ET presence and that are actually working with them, working with the Galactic Federation. So let's see what Avy Lo has to say about all of that.
But there are millions of people watching you right now, Professor. Tell me, what do you think of Haim Eshed's theory, the suggestion that we are already in touch with ETs?
Well, his remarks echo what we heard from David Grush. And, in December 2023, just 5 months ago, I spoke with David Grush, and I asked him for details, clear evidence to substantiate what he is talking about. He said that he cannot provide it because of legal issues. but he himself, talked about things that resemble what Chaim Eshed talked about. Around the same time, I was also visiting CERN, and interestingly, the host showed me the book by Eshed. Now, Eshed gave all this information in a magazine interview to a journalist, but he did not include the details in his book. And so the host was asking me to translate from Hebrew to English. And when I looked at the book, I realized that Eshed is speaking about me. And he was talking about Oumuamua. I've never had a discussion with him, but I know that he was well aware of what I'm doing and appreciating the science that I'm doing. And as you said, I don't think he went crazy. I do think that the people regard him very highly when and still are. And so it's interesting, maybe there is some fire behind the smoke. I mean, we hear from different people. Now, within government, within the US government, there might be different sections.
Okay, fire behind the smoke of the Galactic Federation, says Avy Lo. Or maybe there's some fire. Maybe there's some fire behind that smoke. Very intriguing. I don't know what to make of Chaim Eshed's comments about the Galactic Federation being in touch with humanity and us working with them, and the Galactic Federation wanting disclosure, etc. But, humanity may not be ready. But there are people that believe they are in touch with the Galactic Federation. In fact, Elizabeth April has recently come out making statements saying that she has a message from the Galactic Federation. Let's give it a listen.
And if you see me reading or looking down, it's because I'm looking at this page. Kinetic. Greetings, Galactic Volunteers.
Kinetic is her contact.
I have come today to bring you important updates about your planetary evolution. There's a lot of movement happening beyond your veil, which is prompting this message to you at this time. Recently, forces outside of our galaxy have converged into our solar system. These forces are both friendly and not friendly. They have come to witness the unfolding happening on your planet. We have been in ongoing meetings and discussions with these visitors. They understand that this is the time of your evolution as well as your choice. In the coming months and years, more of these visitors will be appearing in our solar system. Naturally, their curiosity to visit Earth will create more contact. Our council continues to tell them that the prophecy cannot be pushed and that humanity is not yet ready to make a choice. Me. Wow, okay, let me unpack this a bit so we can fully understand everything you are mentioning. So let's start off with exactly who is visiting. Where are they coming from and what are their intentions? Kinetic. There are many species coming in from vast distances across the universe, and they have varied intentions. There are groups who are extensions of the Galactic Federation and are here to support our earthly aid. There are also groups arriving that do not have the best intentions for humanity, who are wanting to support the malevolent forces. Me. Why are they coming now? It feels like we are a long way from ascending. Kinetic. From our perspective, you are currently ascending, and the time is now.
The time is now. So, yeah, very interesting that a lot of different experiencers are reporting that beings are telling them that we are entering the shift, that the ascension is essentially happening now or will shortly begin to occur. A lot of different people are saying this, including very credible sources. I love Elizabeth April. She's great. She has a really great energy. I haven't seen any corroboration of her abilities or contact, but if you have, please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to know if she's, on the level or not. But I do know that Chris Bledsoe is on the level, and here he is with Danny Jones talking about something very similar.
Well, let me tell you what she told me.
And she, of course, is the lady.
Well, let me tell you what she told me. She said that there was a shift in the powers of the heavens, and that she had been away. The feminine energy was about to come back, and there wasn't no stopping it, and that there would be a shift, and that shift would be into Aquarius, and that the divine feminine would come back as the energy that would create 1,000 years of peace. That's what she told me.
Yeah, so we are entering the age of Aquarius in 1,000 years of peace. I mean, that sounds pretty good. I don't know. I would love to talk to the lady. Maybe we'll get a chance. Chris says that he believes the lady might show up in person in a mass contact event in 2027 in Utah. So, maybe we'll all get our chance to have a face-to-face with the lady and ask her some questions. But until then, we're just kind of guessing. But I know that Chris is absolutely on the level, and that he has been in touch with this being that others besides himself have seen, and that this is what the lady is saying. Meanwhile, check out this video from John Bell from Real Florida UFO. Go check out his UFO channel. He has so many great contacts on that channel. In this video, he shows what might be an energy weapon based on the ground, firing at UFOs. And this is on a night, he says, that is strangely absent of UFOs. Very few UFOs that night, if any, on the same night that this energy weapon may have been deployed. So check out this very quick flash right there. Don't know what that thing is. He believes that may be an energy weapon. Let me know if you think that could be an energy weapon. But it's very interesting that right after that energy weapon, or whatever that is, came out, he saw this. He wasn't sure what this thing was at first. He thought it might be a plane. But then as it gets closer, he sees that it's actually what he believes is a drone. Check it out. You can see the shape of the drone kind of materialized there. So, fascinating. Did that drone fire an energy weapon at UFOs, and that's why there were no UFOs that night? Crazy, guys, crazy. And what UFOs are we talking about? Well, John has, so many orb videos. This is an interesting one. He's tracking one UFO, and then Tinkerbell, which is what he calls one particular UFO that visits him frequently, shows up right there. That more anomalous looking or misty looking orb shows up as he's tracking this one. And that one is apparently kind of close to a plane. We'll see that in just a moment. There's the plane. So that's what a plane looks like, and that is what an orb looks like. And we've just seen what a drone looks like that may have fired an energy weapon. Very, very good captures by John. Love it. I'll link to John's channel below, a Real Florida UFO, and if you have time, you should definitely go check it out. Last but not least, this is the Goliath tigerfish. It is said to be the bigger and deadlier version of piranhas. Yeah, that's what we needed, is a bigger and deadlier version of piranhas. Man, that thing is huge. Wow, look at that sucker. Phew. Maybe the camera is making it a little bigger than it actually is. But either way, that's a pretty big fish, guys. That's a pretty big fish. Let me know what you think about the Goliath tigerfish in the comments below, and everything else that I've talked about today. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.